Hello folks, what's happening? Look, I just had a few beers tonight and I thought I'd make a wee video based on this article that I've been sitting on for about 3 or 4 months. And I've just never got around to sharing it. But just to give you a bit of a backstory, it's a story of a Derry legend, you know, a bit of a madman in his own right. But a lot of people in the bog hold him in high esteem and refer to him as a bit of a legend. But just to give you a bit of a backstory before this article, I partied with this man many times. Times he talks in word salad. He's also a very talented artist. But one time he fly kicked a light bulb in the middle of a party, and everybody was left in darkness. And somebody ran out the hall, changed the bulb, put the bulb back on. When they looked, somebody was missing from the party. When they went up the stairs, the guy we're going to refer to as Doogan had him wrapped up in toilet roll and was caressing him, telling about how he was going to protect him, and don't worry about them people down the stairs, they're all afraid of the party. But he's a madman. But this is an article that was released by the Derry News, and also like they mentioned that the Derry News and the PSNI, on one hand it's fucking hilarious, but on the other hand they should be ashamed of themselves because they're taking the pure piss, making a news story out of this on a journalistic side. And from the PSNI side, they tell them about it, and from a crime reporting side, they even tell the cops about this shit when it's just a hilarious story, really. Man hijacked taxi driver with his finger. A man who used his finger to hijack a taxi said he felt like he was in an episode of 1980's American police television show, Starsky and Hutch. Jim Doogan appeared at Letterkenny Circuit Court, where he was charged with the false imprisonment and making threats to kill during the terrifying incident. The court heard Doogan jumped into the back of the taxi in Mayville after another man had flagged it down. Once inside the taxi, 42-year-old Doogan shouted, "I have a gun. Take me to Derry or you'll get a bullet. I'll blow the head off you if you don't do as I say." The passenger had earlier noticed him hanging around the streets of the coastal town, but couldn't stop him jumping into the taxi. Doogan terrified both the driver, Thomas, and also his passenger, Danny, as they travelled the 18 miles across the border to Derry. Classic, hey? Absolutely classic. Along the way, he kept telling the driver and his passenger, "You're gonna get a bullet in the head. Keep your hands up and no funny business." He added that his daughter has been killed, and since that, I have no respect for life. He warned the two men, "I've murdered before, and I'll murder again. It'll not cost me a second." Taxi driver Mr. Lake said he had met a Garda patrol car at Muff and considered flashing his lights at him, but didn't. When they got to Derry, Doogan told them to empty their pockets and that he wanted their money, but they told him they had none. He then told the driver to take them to his local home. Just before he got out of the taxi, he told him, "If I see any sign of the Garda or police, you're dead. If anyone comes looking for me, I'll send boys after you." The witnesses then said it looked like he was putting something down his trousers, and Danny said to the taxi man, "Drive, drive, drive." They added that although they didn't actually see a gun, they were in fear all the time. The victims got home and decided to sleep on the incident, but reported to Garda the following day, for fear Doogan would strike again. For 6 years there was no sign of Doogan despite attempts of Garda to contact him across the border in Derry. Then on July the 2nd this year, he was arrested following a public order incident again in Mayville. "I'll have you murdered and your family murdered. I'll have you shot by the IRA on the street. I'll sort you out for that. You'll be shot. I'll get you in the long grass." Garda said they took the threat very seriously. When questioned about the hijacking, Doogan initially denied it, was saying it was a lot of people in Mayville just didn't like people from Derry, and that's all there is to it. However, when he heard the facts and that the victims had gone through, he made full admissions. He compared it to an episode of Starsky and Hutch, saying he was concerned about the men. He asked, "Did they get home okay? I was a good actor back in the day, but what with the drink and all and having no feelings? Yes, I suppose it was wrong by my belief. It sounds like it began like a mad idea coming from a bar drunk and looking for a taxi. A crazy idea that got out of control. I'm disgusted and devastated. I have to stay strong. This was a mad idea. It was like Starsky and Hutch. When you're in the car and you get carried away and one fine leads to another. As he said himself, it was gaga, madcap and bizarre. And he would like to apologise from the bottom of his heart for the kidnapping. Judge Ard Elmer said that this was an extremely serious case deserving a custodial sentence. He told Mrs. Crawford it would be in her client's interest to get a full psychiatric report, and he adjourned the case for sentence to the next session of the court. I read that and I laughed my head off. Every fucking sentence. It was like reading a Charles Bukowski book. It was a revelation after revelation.